Are you still missing your skills? Can't hit your opponent? Do you have any problems with the control of your character? Or do you want to change the look of your HP bar or make the joystick a black one? Then welcome back, my friends. Then this video is for you. I'll walk you through all the game settings and help you transform your gameplay. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Now, without any more chit-chat, let's dive right in. We'll start with selecting the map. To do this, you need to enter the game lobby of any mode, classic or ranked, and then select the map icon at the top of the screen. There are several map display options, currently 2 default, and occasionally event-based maps will appear. We are going to look at the standard map and the HD map. Here is a tip. If you have a low-powered phone, choose the standard map to reduce your ping in the game. The HD map uses more resources. If you have no issues with the device, then choose the one you like the most. Let's take a closer look at the basic settings of the game. You can find the settings icon on the main game screen in the top right corner or during a match near the minimap. The most important things here are the graphics options and high frame rate. FPS, or frames per second, is a parameter that shows how many images are displayed on the screen per second. The higher the FPS your phone can produce, the smoother the visuals will look. If the frame rate is low, you might notice stuttering and image lag. Therefore, depending on your phone, it's optimal to choose super and high settings for a better experience. If your phone is less powerful, go for high FPS and medium graphics. The Ultra mode is not supported on many devices. Even if it is available, it uses a lot of resources and can easily cause your phone to overheat. So, it's probably best to avoid using it. It's very important that if your game is lagging and the visuals are choppy, you should lower the graphics settings rather than the FPS. Alternatively, ensure that the FPS is at the same level as the graphics settings or higher. Otherwise, you might experience further performance issues. Now let's consider the other display settings. If your phone is not very powerful, I recommend not enabling these settings. Otherwise, it's up to your preference. Next, you'll want to choose the camera height setting. Go for the high option to get a better view of the battlefield. Screen shake is the vibration you feel when you press a skill. I think it can be a bit distracting during gameplay. One of the important things in this section is the HD mode. It enhances the visual quality of the game, but if your phone is not very powerful, it's better to turn it off for smoother performance. Next, we'll turn on these 3 settings, and I'll explain why. Creep health bars. This allows you to see the remaining health, calculate your damage, or, for example, time your retribution skill correctly. Damage text. This lets you see how much damage you're dealing. Colorblind filter. You can use this to make your HP bar yellow. Even if you don't have color blindness, it can help you avoid blending in with the bushes or better track your HP bar during mass team fights. And the final setting in this section is merge text. Activate it to reduce visual clutter, especially if your hero deals small, rapid hits like Chang'e, Claude, or Juxin. It also shows the total damage done in a single combo, so you'll know how much damage you've done overall. Now, let's put it all together. On the screen, you will see the recommended settings for a low-end phone. If you have a powerful phone, then you can comfortably use these settings. Now let's move on to the more important and advanced things. These are the control settings. In the game, you've got 3 targeting methods: free, selective, and lock-on. The free targeting method is the simplest and, in my opinion, the least useful. It only has 1 auto-attack button and nothing more, so we don't use this option. The next option is selective targeting, which I think is a good choice for everyone. It's got 3 auto-attack buttons: standard attack, tower attack, and minion attack. This is really helpful if you want to push a tower or the base, but are being interrupted by minions. Or, for example, if you're playing Melissa and need to attack an enemy through her doll, you must use the minion auto-attack button rather than the basic one. Therefore, this targeting method is optimal for all heroes. And the final method is lock-on targeting. It's similar to the previous one, but allows you to switch between enemies or minions. This can be useful for farming buffs. However, it may be disruptive in battles, so in my opinion, the second option is generally better. Let's talk about targeting priority. In the game, there are 3 targeting options: lowest health percent, lowest HP, and closest target. If you choose the closest target, your skills and auto attacks will automatically prioritize the target nearest to you. If you choose the second option, lowest HP, the target for the attack will be the one with the smallest health number. This way, you'll ignore tanks and focus on more critical targets like marksmen, mages, or assassins. The last option is lowest health percent. In simple terms, this means you will attack the target with the smallest red health bar. Let's consider an example. We have a tank with 2,000 health and a marksman with 1,700 health. However, since the tank's health percentage is lower, 30% of its total health, the targeting priority will be on the tank, even though the marksman has less total health. To avoid wasting skills, it's generally better not to choose this priority. Let's look at the advanced control settings. Hero Lock Mode. Enable this mode to display the avatars of enemies within your line of sight near the attack buttons. To target an enemy, click on their avatar and a lock icon will appear on it. To cancel the target, click the avatar again. It helps you pick the best target, avoid wasting your ultimate on a tank, or quickly find Sun when he uses his copies, for example. Next is the Accuracy Indicator, which allows you to more precisely aim your skills at opponents and target enemies that are farther away. While it can be useful when needed, this feature is generally not very helpful and may not be suitable for all characters. Next up is Aim Panning. This is a really useful feature because it lets you see more when you're aiming long-range skills. This is especially helpful for heroes like Farsa, Selena, Franco, Luo Yi, Novaria, and many others. Another useful feature is Assisted Aiming Mode. I suggest you turn this feature on so you can keep your skill locked onto the target while you move. This setting is also perfect for landing Franco's hook, Selena's stun, and other abilities. Next, we have Moving Pursuit, which I recommend turning off. Let me explain why. If this feature is enabled, the auto attack button will take priority over the joystick when pressed. So, the hero will always be jerking towards the enemy, trying to land a hit. This makes the setting very inconvenient, especially for heroes like Wan, who use on auto attacks to move around the map. So, take a look at your settings. This function might be the source of the problem. Next up is the Close Pursuit. The default priority target is the enemy hero, followed by a creep or minion. So, when this mode is turned off, pressing the auto attack button will make your hero move towards and attack the enemy hero. However, if you enable this mode, your hero will go to attack the creep instead, since it's closer than the enemy hero. Moving on, we have the Joystick Dead Zone setting. Many players don't understand the purpose of this feature or what it actually does. You'll find the Joystick Dead Zone right in the center, which is designed to help you avoid any unnecessary movements or sticking when you're navigating. When this mode is turned off, you need to release the joystick to make your character stop moving. If you enable this function to stop your character, you need to move the joystick to the center. In other words, movement pauses when the joystick is centered. The joystick doesn't respond to slight movements in the center, so your hero will remain stationary. Active Creep Filter. I recommend enabling this. This ensures that your attacks prioritize enemy heroes first, then active creeps, and finally, inactive creeps. This helps avoid situations where you end up attacking creeps instead of focusing on the enemy. Additionally, when an enemy hero appears, you'll attack them instead of a nearby creep. If this filter is turned off, the nearest target will be selected, which means the enemy hero might be ignored in favor of a nearby creep. Next, let's move on to the Skill Joystick position. Choose the fixed option to ensure that the skills field is always in the same place. If you choose the touch position option, the skill field will appear in different locations each time, and sometimes the first and third skills might even go off the edge of your screen. Attack Activation Distance. Attack Activation Distance. This is the distance at which the attack is activated. Selecting the close option means your hero will not chase or attack anyone if there is no one around. This is because the range is limited and there are no targets within that radius. If you choose distant, when you press the auto attack button, your hero will start attacking an enemy that is farther away, moving towards them. If you go for the fixed position, your attack range will depend on your character's range. So, marksmen will have a longer range than fighters. Also, if you lock onto an enemy, your hero will move to attack them. That's different from what happens with the close distance setting. Next up is smart targeting for basic attacks. This is straightforward. When it's turned off, nothing changes. You'll attack the target based on your general targeting settings. If you choose manual targeting, you can manually select the target you want to attack by holding down the auto attack button. This setting allows you to more precisely select your target. If you choose lock-on targeting, it works similarly to manual targeting, but with an added benefit. A lock is placed on the selected hero. You can use skills on different heroes, but your auto attacks will continue to focus on the locked target. Auto upgrade and auto buy should always be left off. The game is dynamic, and you'll often need to buy specific item components or upgrade particular skills based on the situation. Let's focus on the fixed joystick position for movement. If this function is turned off, the joystick appears wherever you press, which can be convenient for quick and flexible movements. If you enable this function, the joystick will always appear in the same fixed position on the screen, HP lock. Always enable this. When you attack an opponent, you'll constantly see their health and how much is remaining. Otherwise, you won't be able to see how much health your enemy has. HP shift. Also enable this to ensure that the health bars stay on the screen, even if you move a long way from towers, for example. If this function is turned off, the health bar will disappear from view as soon as you move away. Next up are cast canceling. I prefer the first option because it requires you to drag the skill a considerable distance to cancel it, which helps prevent accidental cancellations. In the second option, there's a higher chance of accidentally canceling the skill. Sensitivity is a highly individual setting. Adjust it according to what feels comfortable for you based on how you press the buttons, whether it's sharply, smoothly, or in another way. Now let's move on to the interface section, where you'll find the Customize option. Opening this setting will let you fully personalize the game interface to suit your preferences. You can make the minimap bigger, move buttons around, and a lot more. For your information, to make the joystick black, select the Simple Mode option from the available choices. In this section, I highly recommend enlarging the minimap and making it transparent. The rest of the settings can be adjusted according to your personal preferences. You can also customize the interface settings individually for each hero or apply them to all heroes at once. This section also includes a very important setting, Battlefield UI opacity. Set all three options, Settings, Shop, and Scoreboard, to low transparency. This ensures that during matches, when you're buying items, checking the team scoreboard, or adjusting settings, you can still see what's happening on the map, preventing you from being caught off guard. Another important tip: if your phone is low on resources, enable the simplified hero models to reduce the load on your device. This will stop the hero model on the main game screen from animating, making it static and reducing the strain on your device. Let's move on to the Sound tab. In this section, I recommend slightly increasing the sound effects. This way, you'll be able to hear things like an enemy jungler hitting a creep in the bushes, for example. Here, you can choose a background music track according to your preference. Another important point is that in this section, you can turn the voice chat on or off. If you turn off the voice chat, the icons around the minimap will also disappear. So, if these icons suddenly go missing, you'll know where to find them. Next, let's move on to the network settings. If you're having trouble with internet connectivity or unstable ping, these settings can help. If your ping is fluctuating between 30 and 100 even when it's green, you might want to enable speed mode. If you enable the network boost, then both Wi-Fi and mobile data will be used. If you are playing on a stable Wi-Fi connection and are not experiencing any network issues, I recommend turning off these settings. You can always test your connection to make sure everything is working properly. And finally, if you want to show off a bit more to your opponents or allies, there's one more option for personalization. through the emotes you use on the battlefield. If you didn't know, you can set up automatic emote displays for various actions, such as getting your first kill, first assist, triple kill, or wiped out. You can set this up for all heroes or select specific ones. Let me know in the comments if you were aware of this feature. That's all for now. These settings will help you get closer to victory and make fewer mistakes in the game. Thank you for watching this video. I'd appreciate your like and comment. And see you on the Lands of Dawn.